Welcome to Hoodies the podcast. We go deep with the blast.
Yo, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, damn, I am on the cusp of being 48 years young. It's a few hours. Well, yeah, 1:52 a.m., July 9th. I am on the cusp. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, am I wise? Like, I like to think that I'm wise. But am I wise? Have I done my due diligence as a man to be better? Make improvements in areas I needed improvement in? You know? I think of the space that I took from certain folk. You know what I mean? For the sake of my own piece of peace. I was watching the Pivot podcast, a few days ago. They had Mike Tyson on there. And Mike Tyson dropped a bar. Not like bars, but I mean like he said something to the effect of
family shit.
Yeah. You gotta touch it.
And sometimes you gotta treat families like strangers to make family act like family.
sometimes you got to treat family like strangers to make family act like family. Right? Some mothers have issues with their daughters, some fathers with their sons. A parent can see things that an adult son or daughter just can't see a lot of times. You know what I mean? And that's okay. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. There was a time that I didn't see things the way I see them now. You know what I mean? I just needed to live a little bit more to get the lesson. You know, I needed to live a little bit more to level up on my wisdom. You know? But anyway, as a parent, we may not like the moves that our son and daughters, we might not like the way they moving. You know what I mean? And by you being somebody who cares, you care. You're a parent. You care. You know? You're just a man or woman who's in their parent bag. You know? And because you care and in your parent bag, then you're gonna voice to your adult sons and daughters. You're gonna voice to them that you're not feeling that. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should do this. And they ain't gonna like that. That's okay too. Hey, let's try this wisdom thing out. Alright? Let's fall back. Fall back, parent. Just let go. We talk about space, right? Wisdom and all, right? You can take space. That space, though, is for them to grow and level up. It's like some of us may have had to do. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind right as a parent. Take that space to get your mind right as a parent. And don't be bitter towards your dumbass kids. Well, they ain't kids, but you know what I mean. Don't let them dumbass kids stress you out and have you thinking that they act the way they act as adults because of you or something that you didn't do. Well, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do for your kids, then yeah, you should go ahead and eat that. You should go ahead and eat that. But if you did, then hey, just let that shit go, man. Let that shit play out. You know? Remember the moves that we made when we was young adults? Remember the moves we made when we were a little older than young adults? And when I say young adults, I'm talking about from 18 to 30. It's a young adult, at least to me anyway. 30, 45, you're just an adult. You take the young off. 45, 55, as far as I'm concerned, that's middle age. And 60 is senior status. So from 55 to 60, you get your 5-year grace period to just be whatever. Like what I say is law, right? Just make sure that you don't take the shit that they do personal, like I said, thinking that you are the reason why they acting the way they acting. We don't necessarily know what type of offspring we have until they become adults. You know what I'm saying? So again, stop thinking that you fucked up as a parent. Stop that. They need to bump their head just like you did. If you did fuck up, eat that. But listen, man, you can't make them make better decisions. You know what I mean? You can't make them do nothing. You know what I mean? But here's the beauty in giving your adult son or daughter some space. You get to keep that same energy when they come to you for help, that financial help, after they've made a not so good decision. See what I'm saying? Again, they got to learn like you did. They got to bump their head. You know what I'm saying? You tried to pass on some knowledge to keep them from going through some of that shit, but they needed to learn on their own. And that's okay. You know what I mean? When I was younger, there was just certain things you couldn't tell me about certain things. Certain things I had to figure it out for myself. I just had to see it for myself. So, just think of that same type spirit being in your son or daughter. You know what I'm saying? You tried to keep them from bumping their head, but they had to check and see for themselves. So that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was that young man in my development who didn't want to listen. But my gift from failure was wisdom. A new understanding. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that no more because I'm wiser. Feel me? Space is necessary. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Space without works is dead. So some of you parents, it's a bar, right? Space without works is dead. Right? Because some of you parents are real bitter and pissed off and ain't fucking with your child at all. Because they ain't do what you thought they should do. Let that shit go, man. Let that shit go. I know you want to save them from the bullshit you went through. Let it go, man. Go ahead and let them, man, they grown. Let them go on out there and do what they need to do. They're going out there doing some stupid shit. They're collecting data. They're just collecting data. And one day, they're going to be doing who knows what a podcast will be, you know what I mean, in years to come. But they too will have some wisdom. Or not. Or not. You know the saying. Old fools used to be young fools. So some people don't learn. Some people don't. We still talking about space, right? Can we touch on the romantic relationships? Of course we can, because this is my shit. Of course we can. So, here's my disclaimer though. I'm the furthest thing from a relationship coach. Or whatever. Relationship guru or whatever. So by no means do I claim to know everything. Right? But I do know some things. 3 failed marriages, and some people might be like, yo, what makes you think you can give me some advice? Ain't none of your shit work. Well, that's what qualifies me to talk about this type shit. Because of those failures. Again, my gift from failure is wisdom. It's a new understanding. So I'm wise because I failed. I'd like to think. I'd like to think that I am wise because I failed in these relationships. I'm wiser from the failure. And I'm still learning. Alright, that's my disclaimer. So check it. Here's a scenario. Right? You and your partner got issues. Right? And ain't nobody listening. You ain't really listening. She ain't really listening. Y'all be having these talks. These powwows. Right? And ain't nothing changing. And if it does, it's fleeting. You know what I mean? short-lived, just momentary. Smallest thing happens and the both of you slip right back in that ditch again. You know what I mean? Like after the talk and get that little bit of change, some small shit happens and you slip right back in the ditch again. The fuck it ditch. She gets pissed off. She not talking to you. You ain't trying to feed in that shit, so you ain't talking either. So now y'all got some silent treatment going on. You get in the sack together. Nigga's cold as ice. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody touching. Trying to hide the label. Ain't nobody touching. And if you do touch, if you say your feet happen to touch, man, y'all jerk that shit back so swift and correct that shit. It ain't no warmth. Right? And in some cases, y'all sleeping in separate beds. Not in other people's beds. But y'all sleeping in separate beds. In the house. In the dwelling. You know what I mean? Damn near roommates. In fact, the meaning of roommate is a person with whom shares a living facility, such as a room or dormitory, except when being family or romantically involved. So it's not like roommates. It is that. Y'all ain't even talking. Y'all ain't even fucking. Y'all trying to one-up each other in terms of, who cares the least. You know what I mean? She's staying out a little later than usual. Not mad late, but a little later than usual. She ain't sending no, I'll be home late text. And you like, shit, I ain't running up behind no broad. I ain't gonna text her, ask her where she at. Especially when you've addressed it already. Right? All this shit is going on. Right? And then somebody moves out. Space. And about that space thing real quick. Right? If there's nothing there in terms of feelings, like love, if there's nothing there, like look, brother, if you don't love that broad, then I would advise you to move on. Just move the fuck on and stop playing with it. Just, you know what I mean? Don't play with it. Just go be happy. But if there is something still there, right? If both of you still got love for each other or love each other, then I'm going to keep it funky. Space is what I would recommend. Dead ass. That's that uncle wisdom right there. I would recommend space. And I know some people could be watching this right now thinking like, damn, brother, you let your house get that sloppy? You let it get that bad in your house? Listen, man, first of all, cool the fuck out. Not everybody's all that good at communicating. And listen, like I said, relationships will work. And love is messy. Now, I know in the last podcast, Brother Rob, explained that how, marriage or relationships shouldn't be work.
It shouldn't feel like work. You know what I'm saying? Because if it feels like work, nobody feel like going to work every day.
I agree with that. But listen, for somebody like me who's not all that good at communicating, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still learning more. You know what I mean? I'm still learning a lot about communicating. There's tone, there's delivery, there's all that shit. I'm still learning. Hey, for me and a whole lot of people, right? Relationships will work and love is messy. Right? So, space is necessary because it's apparent that with all that stuff I mentioned, both parties involved need to get some kind of reboot. A reboot. Because people get complacent. And it ain't just men. Both sexes, men and women do. You know what I mean? You might need to miss her ass, king. You might need to miss him, queen. And you both might need therapy. You know what I'm saying? Therapy don't mean you crazy. But listen, deep down at your core, you know you're not okay. Deep down at your core, you know you're not all right. Go talk to somebody. If you love the person you with, go talk to somebody, fam. Do your due diligence. Right? Because, listen, therapy is important because it's not uncommon for two people in a relationship to project shit off on each other. All these past hurts and all that other shit. That's not uncommon. So go talk to somebody. You know, use the space, you know what I mean, to take a step back and look at the state of your union. Dead ass. Like, okay, so when you take a step back in this space world, right? When the anger subsides, because you know you leave like, man, fuck her, man. Fuck all this shit. I don't need this shit. And she the same thing, man. Fuck that nigga. I don't need that shit. Fuck him. So when the anger subsides, right? Then, cause y'all still in love. Right? Right? Because if you're not, then what's the point? If you're not in love doing space time, then it ain't space. It's not space, it's just a soft breakup. If you're not in, if you ain't in love, keep it moving, man. Don't even waste your time. Keep moving. Right? But if you're still in love, make an assessment of your relationship, man. You know what I mean? And have some real conversations now. Real conversations. Like, fuck's the deal? Like, come on, we need to talk. The fuck's the deal? What the fuck is the deal? Communication, again, man. It's a cool word that everybody always like to use. You know what I mean? But not so much when it comes to putting it into practice. You know, communication is nuanced. There's tone, delivery. There's body language, eye contact. Communication is heavy. It's not just you talk, I try to talk. Nah, nope. It takes patience. Of course, you got to listen, comprehend. Can't be talking all over each other. Again, space without works is dead. Without some work on self, without that real conversation, you run a serious risk of going back into your relationship the same way you both was when you left. Don't nothing get addressed. Y'all get back in, smiling, laughing, feels good. Y'all banging again. And it's only a matter of time for y'all end up in that shit again. Trust me, I know. I'm wiser from the failures. And look, man, good brothers out there, all you good brothers, all you kings and gods, yo, consult with other men. You feel me? Men that you respect. Do a simp check. Trust me, because simps don't win. Right? If you got a tendency of putting yourself in a submissive position with your woman in hopes of like winning her over, you know what I mean? First of all, she ain't gonna respect that because you just letting her, you know what I mean? You just letting her have her way and she can't respect that. You don't have a backbone. Which means in return, she ain't gonna give you a whole lot because she doesn't have to. You're putting yourself in a submissive position. She ain't gotta do shit. She ain't gotta work for nothing. And if you in that type of dynamic, that type of situation, then that may be indicative that you are a fucking simp. And you're going to have to tweak some things. You know? And a simp check is twofold. It's twofold, eh? A brother corrects himself, right? Gets a chance to stand on his square because he did a little bit of therapy. It's not to think about. He talked with some other men. You know, he's bouncing ideas off other brothers who's been through this shit before. Right? So now he comes back presenting himself as a man. A man. Learn to put his purpose first. A man. And the sister, she gets to reap the benefits of a brother who's in his right mind so he can lead her. It's a win-win. Brothers, you can figure out during space time, of course, you can figure out why you laying in bed next to your lady and you think about sex, but you ain't think about having sex with her. Yeah, you still attracted to her. She still look good. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But y'all not fucking. So does she not do it for you no more? Are you just used to the pussy? So it's not that exciting? Like playing with an old toy or something? I don't know. You beating off too much? Think about it. Explore that. Because, listen, man, sex is important. Let's keep it funky. Some of the benefits for sex for women are, right? Lower blood pressure, better immune system, better heart health, possibly including lower risk for heart disease, improved self-esteem. I've seen that before. Bang your broad at night. The next day she go to work, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, showing a little love to people she don't necessarily show love to. She all giddy and happy. Yeah, it's because you knocked that thing down. You adjust that attitude, right? There's decreased depression and anxiety, increased libido, immediate natural pain relief, better sleep. That's another one. How many times you knock that thing down and she tell me I'm lying. Somebody tell me I'm lying. That's what I thought. For her, there's increased intimacy and closeness to a sexual partner. Overall stress reduction, both physiological and emotional. Damn, almost had a moment. And for brothers, it can help lower blood pressure. It's always good. Imagine being able to fuck and lower your blood pressure. It reduces the risk of prostate cancer. Another good one. It increases fertility. I ain't trying to have no more kids. But hey, that's good to know. It reduces anxiety and depression in men. Another good thing. It boosts analytical thinking. Damn, another good thing. And it intimate, loving sex makes a brother look younger. Hey, it's good. What's going on? I'm right. All right, so having regular sex, it makes you want to continue to have more sex. It's a good thing. So explore that. Figure out why you ain't trying to fuck. Figure out why you ain't trying to jump up bones like you used to. Both parties involved. Okay? Women too. Cause I said this before in another podcast. Listen, man, if you're not throwing on the sexy little get up, you know what I'm saying, like you used to, you know what I mean, when you first met your dude, that could be part of it too. You can't expect the man to still be on you like that, and you don't, you know what I mean, you don't present yourself in the same way like you once did. So of course you may have to make some adjustments, like I said before, because some of you may have put on a little weight since then, you know, and you know what to do if that is the case. Along with that, sisters, if I might say, listen, man, you could work on your delivery. You know what I mean? You could learn how to listen, sisters. Like, really listen. Name calling is trash. You know what I mean? Using what the other one, you know, like your partner told you about their family upbringing, and then throwing it in their face and you know, in the midst of an argument. That's trash. You know what I mean? And listen, sisters, you too should consult other women that you respect. You might want to do the nag check. Now, I understand. I would think something was seriously wrong if my woman didn't nag me about something. I would think something's wrong. If it's over the normal limit, hopefully, a council of women will school you on that. Who knows? That council of women, they might fuck around and school you about the yoni egg. I heard a couple things about the yoni egg, Listen, you'd have to do your own research. I don't know how effective it is. I don't know. I've heard about it. I've even heard about some results. Right? Tighten up. Just saying, with all due respect. Right? Also, with all of that, it's my wisdom, my uncle wisdom. It wouldn't hurt if both parties involved told each other, you matter. I appreciate you. I appreciate your cooking, babe. You doing the laundry. Real quick sidebar. I know in one podcast, I said something to the effect of, when a woman is cooking and cleaning, when a woman is cooking and doing the laundry, it's appreciated, but it's not necessarily something a man can't do. I still stand by that. Cook, do laundry. You think that makes you a good woman? I'm not saying that having your lady cook for you and do your laundry, I ain't saying it ain't a flex. I'm not saying that at all. Right? If I don't have to cook, I don't want to cook. If I don't have to do laundry, I don't want to do laundry. Okay? So, it's a flex to have that. So I ain't got to do it. So there's that. And then your feminine energy. Appreciate that, babe. I appreciate the way you smell when you get out the shower. You know what I mean? How lubed up you are with that, coconut oil. And that smell. Much appreciated. And sisters, for example, can't tell you what to say. Hey, if you appreciate your man's masculine energy and his protection, tell him that. Tell him it matters. You know what I'm saying? You might want to tell him you appreciate him standing on his square. You might want to express to him like sometimes you don't like when he tell you no, but you respect it because you respect his leadership. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's providing, if he can't provide it in a way where he can pay all the bills, let him know you let him know that you appreciate the provision he is able to provide. That's a big thing for men. Men, we got egos, man, and we need y'all. We need y'all to, check it. We need y'all to protect our ego. Once we walk out that door, niggas is trying to tear us down left and right. We already know about the gray man. We also have the issue of doing it to each other. Black folk putting down black folk, and the genders are bumping heads and talking shit. So dead ass, when the man come home, he needs you to kind of boost up his ego. You a king. You are that. You are God. You are that. You understand? Both parties involved might need that shit. They might need that. And again and again from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Like forever. It's nice to know that the person that you love and laying next to appreciates you and what you do. Hey, and listen, if they are falling short, like Shahrazad Ali said once, hey, man saying to it, babe, I appreciate you tried to do that. Just, I don't mean to be harsh, but just try harder. Sisters say the same thing. I appreciate you, babe. Try harder. I know you can do it. Man, that shit feel good just thinking of it in my head. Talk to each other nice, man. It's my wisdom talking. You know what I mean? And do that shit again and again. And I gotta get this one good brother on the pod. Brother by the name of Stanley. It's one of my clients, been one of my clients since like a month or so after I opened up. You know what I mean? And he told me some time ago, back then around that time, he said that a man should be a wolf. A wolf. Said stay in some kind of shape. You know what I mean? Eat right, stay in some shape. You know what I mean? So you looking good and you stay marketable. And okay, when I say marketable, I mean, listen, women like a nice, good looking brother. Women don't want no overweight, sloppy. Let me stop. I'm about to say sloppy and all that, and I'm glad I stopped myself. Wisdom. It's wisdom. Women, you know what your woman wants. You know what your woman wants. And ladies, you know what your man wants. You know, sisters, you know if your man is with the big girl thing or not. You know if you letting yourself go or not. Same thing, fellas. Same thing. That's not being a wolf. Stay in some kind of shape. So this way you don't end up old and sickly. You and your partner are old and sickly. You got to be in that little buggy riding around a department store. Come on, man. But anyway, I'm getting off. Stay in some kind of shape, as per Brother Stanley, right? Stay complimenting your woman. You know what I mean? Compliment her. Smack that ass. Because the last thing we need, brothers, is Malik at the job telling her things and doing things that you ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? Fuck around and all them times she been telling him, no, I'm good. I'm going to eat by myself today. One day, she going to say, yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a jewel for both sexes. Be a wolf. Hashtag wolf. Y'all ever heard that record? Of course you did. This record by Shaka Khan. Old school joint. I'm only what you make me, baby. Don't walk away, don't be so shady. Don't want your mind, don't want your money. These words I say, they may sound funny, but whoa, whoa, sweet thing. Wow, wow, don't you know you're my everything? Whoa, oh, sweet thing. Don't you know you're my everything? Yes, you are. Think about that. I'm only what you make me. I'm only what you make me. Let's unpack that. We are the ones that's supposed to lead, right? Right, gods? Right, kings? Right, brothers? We're the ones supposed to lead, right? What are we teaching her? What are we teaching our woman? Really? I'm only what you make me. What are we making her? What are we making of her? You know what I mean? Heavy, right? And listen, I'm wise enough to know, right? I'm wise enough to know that if I'm being honest with myself, I got work to do. It's real shit. I got work. Hey, it's a double-edged sword. You understand? It's a double-edged sword because you can have the wisdom to lead, but what good is that wisdom? What good is the wisdom if you got a woman that don't listen? Listen, I believe that when a woman is quick to interrupt you, cut you off in the middle of a sentence, that's a lack of respect. Sisters, that's how it registers to us. That's a lack of respect. I'm saying, respect me enough to let me get my shit off. I'm trying to drop a jewel on her. She busy talking over. She missing it. You're missing it, sisters. Imagine how hard it is trying to communicate with a woman that don't listen. I know I'm not the only one who's probably felt this once upon a time in his life, right? But imagine being with a woman that listens to everybody else. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to you, it gets funny. You know? Can't make you into nothing if you don't shut the fuck up and listen, sisters. It's a lack of respect. That's how it registers to us. You don't even respect me enough to allow me to teach you something, to school you on something. You know what I'm saying? And sisters, some of y'all got these so-called male friends, right? And I know I've said this before, but let's take a short trip down this. This ain't a road. This is an alley, right? So what I want to say in reference to the male friends is, look, man, those male friends ain't really your friends. Some of y'all know that. And for those of you who don't, oh, he just my... Stop. Stop, queen. Stop, goddess. He's not your friend. Now, y'all do what y'all want to do, brothers, but me, I don't do that male friend shit. First of all, male friend. Why would I care about the problems a woman has with other men, or the process of trying to meeting the right? Why do I want to hear about those? Why do I care? Why would I give you access to me like that? To call me up and waste my time talking about this dude, that dude, and I don't get nothing I don't get no pussy. I don't get nothing in return for that. You just got this access to me. It's good for you because you get to vent and run your mouth and tell somebody about all who. Not me. And I know. I can hear somebody right now saying, nobody thinks like you, Ra. Yeah, they do. Think about it. Are you telling me? Sisters, are you telling me? For you sisters who do this, are you telling me that there's a man, a heterosexual man, that enjoys talking to you, spending time with you, spending time on the horn, listening to you talk about your life with your dude, your family, your kids? Why? Why? You got your own man, kids, whatever. Why does it? I couldn't even imagine that. Why would I want to hear that? Why would I want to do that? Friends do friend things. Friends hang out and do friend things. I mean, what's the point in going out to dinner? Maybe a movie. Okay, all right. I can see how that's a good thing for a woman, right? Take out the lunch, maybe dinner. You have the nice dinner, some dessert, maybe a glass of wine. Then you take her home. And then if all she has to do is give you a little peck on the cheek in return because you're a friend, well, first of all, that's a decent night for a woman. She didn't have to pay for anything. She ate good, even had a glass of wine and some dessert. You understand? It's a decent night for a woman. But what does the man get? What does that man get? He don't get nothing. Some bum ass kiss on the cheek. What's the point? You're a heterosexual male who's single. What's the point in doing that? Why do all of that unless the end game is to get some yams? Huh? Sisters, of course, the ones who don't know, and maybe the ones who are in denial, male friends are buzzards. buzzards, I tell you. Just waiting for the chance to smash. Trust me. Some of you got male friends that don't show up to no family functions. When I say family functions, I'm like, ladies, you and your dude putting things together at the crib. And I'm calling it a family function because, of course, members from her family, your family, some of y'all friends, whatever, you know, something small, quaint, and intimate. You know what I mean? A little gathering. And those so-called male friends, them niggas don't even show up. They don't even come to the function. Not sure what that's about. And you've been friends with them dudes since who knows when. You've been cool with them. Why they ain't showing up? And he's your friend. Weird, right? Listen, I bet if you told your male friend that your man was out of town for the weekend, right? But you still cooked a nice vegan meal, found a nice movie that you think your male friend would like, maybe on Netflix or, I don't know, Amazon, whatever. Okay? And listen, tell your male friend that. I bet you every dime in your pocket, that when he show up, he gonna show up with flowers, mad cologne, wine, maybe some condoms. Dudes are not your friends. They're not your friend. Do you know what you are to male friends? You know what you are? You just land. Your land that he hasn't yet planted his flag on. Yet, depending on how you move. Now, ladies, if this is somebody, you know what I mean, that you've been cool with since, like, say, elementary school, grammar school, right? Your moms knows them, your brother knows them. You know what I mean? Now, that might be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Now, that probably would be more like a friend. You know what I mean? That would probably be more like a friend. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude who's more likely to show up to a family function. Come through, show love to your cousin, you know what I mean, your brother, his lady, you know what I mean, your kids. Because you've been knowing this dude. You've been knowing him for a while. You know, that would be a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't seen nothing like that since high school. My high school girlfriend, she was friends with a dude, cool cat. I knew him too. You know what I mean? And there was no doubt in my mind that they was just friends. I mean, granted, he wasn't no buff-ass athlete either. You know what I mean? He, like I said, he was a cool cat. I knew him too. But I ain't seen nothing like that since high school. You know what I mean? Like, sisters, one more thing real quick. One more thing, eh? If you got a male friend and you want to horn with him, you know what I'm saying? You want to horn. And if you having conversations, right, that your man would feel a ways about if he heard it, right? If you engage in that, right, telling your male friend intimate shit about you, your man, your deep, darkest thoughts, you know what I mean? Things that your man may be inclined to slap you if he heard or found out about. You know what I'm saying? If that's you, then you are an emotional cheater. You are an emotional philanderer. If you saying things to your male friend that you would cut a bitch for saying and doing with your man, then you are an emotional cheater. An emotional philanderer. I'll stop right there. You got all that space to think it through. Space without works is dead. Brothers, if you've ever been a philanderer, you're a man. So let me change that. If you've ever been a philanderer with your woman while y'all were together, and yet y'all still together, then this portion of the pod is for you. Well, listen, I'm just going to speak for myself. All right? I was a coward, right, at one point in time. And neither one of those women, one of whom I'm still rocking with, none of those women deserve to be kept in the headspace of thinking that they was my only one. You know what I'm saying? And again, I apologize to both women. But that's the last time I'm going to say that. It's been some time now. It's been a couple years, 3 years. I'm all apologized out. You know, for not coming clean. I mean, I did like 4 or 5 years later. And it just, man, look, I got tired of trying to keep up with the lies. Why one couldn't come here, why the other one couldn't go there. It just, you know, I could have just told one and stayed with the one that I wanted to be with. But I don't know, I wanted to face that awkward moment. I wanted to feel it. I don't know why. Guess I'm weird like that. Guess I'm just weird like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And look, it's a serious double standard. It's a serious double standard because, nah. It's not a deal breaker, but I wouldn't want my woman fucking with no other dude. I ain't with that shit. So yeah, it's a double standard. So I got a decent amount of respect, you know, for brothers who are able to get 2 women on their program. You know what I mean? Like the poly life, it does intrigue me. You know, but the hard part is getting your lady to buy into it. You know what I mean? I'm trying, fam. You know what I mean? But we're talking wisdom, right? My wisdom tells me that it don't make a whole lot of sense to try to incorporate another woman into, you know, my situation when I still got work to do with the one I already got. Feel me? Let me clean that up and get right with that and be better with that first. You understand? Makes sense, right? That's wise, right? What's the point in bringing another woman in on some shit that's delicate? Why do that? You know what I'm saying? Take care of that before I do some adding on. Right? Right. But from here on out, I'm shooting straight. I'm shooting straight. So I also learned that should I, you know, slip up and fuck another woman, I ain't lying about it. I ain't saying I'm gonna do it. But fuck it, man. Shit, at the end of the day, all women want is a brother who's just gonna be a man and tell the motherfucking truth. Dead ass. Hey, everybody watching this right now could use some space away from social media. You know what I mean? Well, if social media is used to promote your brand or your program, then this ain't for you. I mean, I do that too. You know what I mean? But is it just me, or is there an abundance of tits and ass and pussy prints on the gram? That explore page. I mean, granted, there's some other stuff up there, like some basketball stuff, you know, some musicians, some rappers, you know, nature. I'm always looking at nature and all that. Anybody who know me I love the National Geographic and all that nature shit, right? But yo, I was scrolling the other morning. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I love women, but goddamn, this is ridiculous. Granted, there's other shit up there and then up in there, but there's just no comparison. It's just ass and tits, ass and titties, ass and titties, ass and titties, ass and titties. It's crazy. So I'm trying to change that by looking at other. I don't even go on the Explore page no more. I'm off that shit for the foreseeable future. I need space. I need space. You know what I mean? I'm trying to change the algorithm or something. Look at some other shit. You know what I mean? I need space so I can work on other shit, man. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna stay too long, man. I was just sitting here wondering about my wisdom. Wondering about my, you know, and since life is a school of hard knocks, I was just contemplating my scholarship in this school. Right? You know, I guess the moral of this whole space thing is that all relationships could use some space sometimes. You know what I mean? To take a back step real quick and just reevaluate what's going on here. You know, am I being the best version of myself? Am I happy with myself? You know, and who knows, that could be the root of a few things in a relationship, you know, for both parties. You know, some people just ain't happy. And you can't put the daunting task of making you happy off on somebody else. Fortunately, it just doesn't work that way. It shouldn't be nobody else's responsibility. You know what I mean? So listen, man, let's take some space, take some time to reevaluate. Or not. You ain't gotta listen to me. I'm just talking. So I want to thank y'all for watching as I sit here, you know, pondering thoughts and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching Hoodies the podcast. Shout out to the collective, black men, women, boys, girls, and especially the elders. And then let's bring it right back around to the youth, because they up, man. And yeah, man, happy birthday to me. I'm here. Wise and civilized. Word. So, yeah, man, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, all that good shit, man. I'm the God Rashidi, and this is Hoodies. Hey.
I don't even know what a lane is.
Ain't nobody
See
calling.
no box neither.
Ain't nobody calling motherfucking phone.
Welcome to Hoodies the podcast. We go deep with the
Ain't
blast.
nobody calling motherfucking phone.
Universal.
Ain't nobody calling.
Oh! Grab the balloon.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The balloon's still there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They cheated.
They cheated what they do.
Cheated.
How?
They cut us off.
No, they cut us off.
They cut us
They
off.
wanted it.
You cut us off.
They wanted it more.
To me.
They wanted it more. All right, as promised, hold this. Watch me give them the money. As promised.
It's a puppy balloon.
Yo, how'd you lose yours?
I don't even know.
I was clutching
I don't even know.
Yes, sir.
How'd
boy.
you lose yours?
I'm not even sure. It just
Yo,
He's a right for sure.
this joint just went flying. Oh, snap. All right,
it's crazy.
okay. All right, good job. That was good. See?